Mr. Chair, you're alive.
Right. Wardens come to order. I'm gonna be a little rusty, so it's been a while since I did this. All right, roll call. We got Gene is excused. Scott.
Yes, sir.
Right, Robert Shapiro. And Harold Siegel.
Here.
And chairing tonight, Willie Sanson. We also have Carrie Berger, Kevin Scott, and we also have Ross Anders, Arnett. Sorry about that. Now, can I have approval of the minutes from March 22nd?
I make a motion to approve.
Right. I second the motion.
And motion, all favorable?
Aye.
Okay, so move has been approved. Also, we have the findings of facts for March 22nd. Give a motion to approve those.
I make a motion to approve those.
I will second that motion.
Okay, all favorable? All
Aye.
approved? Aye. So move, all favorable and been approved. Okay, on our first agenda here. Business here. The Annapolis Maritime Museum, 7300 Edgewood Road.
Willie, just I don't know if you're going to take anything out of order, but there is the Harbor Master's annual report of the mooring, which should be next.
Yes, I'm sorry.
So,
Okay.
and Tyler Northfield is here to present that.
All right, Tyler.
All right, good evening, guys. Supposedly, Kevin, did everyone get a copy of that report already?
Yes,
sir.
it came in our packet.
Okay,
Yeah.
I gotcha. So basically, it's the same report as last couple years, same amount of annual mooring balls and transit mooring balls. There's no new changes to it at all.
Any questions?
Question for me?
Yeah, I don't have any to. How about you, Robert? You have anything?
No, it's the same as last year. I think it looks
Yeah.
good. I have mooring 60, so I'm not necessarily biased, but it's the same as last year. I think it looks great. I'll I don't know if we approve it per se, but Carrie, do we actually have to vote to
Yeah.
approve this, or since it's pre-existing and same as last year, do we have to do anything?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think that there's any action that you have to take.
You
Okay.
just have to report that we've read it, I suppose, right? That we received it and read it.
In the past,
Right.
the board has simply just accepted it
Yeah.
Right.
because
Okay.
you're not taking any action. I think you just agree to accept it.
Okay.
I like to make a motion to agree, accept.
Second.
All favorable. Raise your hand. I don't have any
Aye.
problem. Okay. Approved. Anybody else have anything? Scott?
No, sir, I'm good.
Okay. All right.
And Tyler, will you stick around in case there's any questions for you for
Yeah,
either
most
of the
definitely.
items?
Yeah, I'll be
Thank
here.
Okay. All right. All right, now we go to a new business here. 300. Huh?
Willie, I think we might have to do the minutes and findings of fact from the last meeting.
I thought we approved the minutes.
We
We
did
did, I
approve
thought
the
we did
minutes, but I don't think we did the findings of fact.
Okay, Finding the facts for what, 46 Benby Beach Road. And I guess we can do both of these together. And also 2227 Avenue, finding the facts. Anybody have any questions on that?
No, I don't.
No,
Okay, I get a motion to approve the findings.
yeah, motion to approve the findings of 7046. Scott, you wanna,
Yes. And I guess 2227 Avenue, I second that motion.
right, and I second where I will, and the same for 222 as well.
Okay,
Okay, just so we're clear, you
You
guys.
didn't have to do that, I think.
Both, you don't have to, but you both of the findings of fact for both 222 Severn Avenue and the Benby Beach together, and you're considering them together, just to make the record clear, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make it clear for Kimberly.
okay. All favorable. So moved and approved. All right, moving right along here. Okay, now have I missed anything? Keep me intact here, Karen.
Actually, technically speaking, did you approve the agenda? I can't
Yes.
remember if you did or you did. Okay, just want to make sure.
Okay. All right, so moving on to new business. 7300 Edgewood Road, Annapolis Maritime Museum. Who's anybody here? Oh, okay, yeah. All right, Michael. How you doing, buddy? All right, having questions? Anybody have any questions on this?
Well, you gotta swear him in
You
first.
gotta swear him
Oh,
in.
let's
And
swear you in there, Michael. Raise your right hand. You sworn in, brother.
Thank you, Mr. Sampson.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
If I may, I'd like to go ahead and just present a brief summary of what the application is, if that's all right.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so my name is Mike Meekins. I work for Bay Engineering here in the city of Annapolis. We represent the Annapolis Maritime Museum, and the application before you is the proposal of a 8 by 254 foot floating dock, gangway, and associated mooring piles for the Maritime Museum's skipjack, the Wilma Lee. And that proposed location is at off of Edgewood Road, 7300 Edgewood Road, which is the Ellen Moyer Nature Park. The Maritime Museum has a long-term lease with the city of Annapolis, who owns the park, for their education center that predominantly takes place during the warmer months, the summer, when school is out of session. Also associated with this, where the pier is proposed to be located, there are actually two different mooring fields. We've been in communication with not only the neighboring marinas, Jabins to the south and Port Annapolis to the north, but also with actually the mayor of Annapolis and also the harbor master in the proposed relocation of 5 mooring buoys. We've had several different meetings with the harbor master and the harbor master's office and staff, and we've come to a consensus on where to relocate those mooring buoys. And that is within the packet that you, I hope, were in receipt of. Those mooring buoys were relocated in agreement to the north, of actually the park, within Back Creek, but further towards the mouth of Back Creek, the bay and Severn River. So in addition, there's a application, building grading permit application in with the city of Annapolis under review for a ADA compliant walkway from the basically from the park main facility to get to the proposed floating dock. And again, ADA compliant, with the idea that it will facilitate those with any accessible issues to get from basically the facility at the park to the floating dock, onto the floating dock, and then ultimately onto the skipjack, the Wilma. So that, in a nutshell, is the summary of what our application is. And then I guess the last piece of the puzzle is, of course, we have applied to the MDE for review. I have yet to have any formal comments issued to us, but we have applied for that application.
Have any questions from the Port Warden?
Is there any public comment?
I have a question, just being new.
There
Why,
were no public comments.
why are the mooring buoys need to be relocated, and will the new location interfere at all with navigation?
So there are several, Mr. Siegel, there are several mooring buoys that are immediately adjacent to the proposed location of the floating dock. And the swing radius that we've come up with, and also again in conjunction with the harbor master and their guidance, it was determined that one in particular was immediately adjacent to the end of the proposed dock. And they felt it was a good opportunity to reposition these mooring buoys, 5 of them in total, to the north. And I guess I want to say the arrived at or proposed relocation of those buoys are intended to not interfere with the channel. And actually, those buoys, where they're proposed during the summer months, it's an anchorage that is used by transient boaters. So essentially, those city-owned relocated buoys are going in the approximate area where there is I guess I will say, unregulated anchorage within the creek.
I'm just kind of looking. I mean, we all have this diagram here, and these look like if the boats are coming through here, that's pretty narrow between Mears and the Annapolis Landing Marina.
And Tyler might be best to speak to this. I think what ends up happening is we end up having anchored anchored boats there that we can't control. And but is Tyler still on this?
Yes,
call?
that's correct. That's correct, Rob.
Okay,
That's
so
the
yeah, I
issue.
think he might be best to speak to why it makes sense or why it's a better scenario.
So during the summertime, we get constant complaints from Annapolis Landing, Port Annapolis, Watergate, and Mears, or I don't know who just bought Mears. I can't remember. But the anchored boats are just keep on getting too close. So this would kind of solve, two things at once. It would, if we move them, we could do the Maritime Museum, put their pier in, and also we alleviate the problem of boats anchoring too close to the marinas. And this is pretty much the only spot that we came up with that we could group them all together so they would flow correct, flow nicely and boaters wouldn't get confused. That kind of thing.
Is that's still marked as an anchorage area though, correct?
Correct. Still anchored, yes. But then so once we put a mooring buoy down, the 75-foot rule comes into effect. So then it becomes harder for boats to anchor in between those 2 points.
It's effectively.
You know what's going to happen though.
Right.
It's going to happen eventually, but we can't stop that.
Right. It's a good way for us the city, to control the exact amount of space that any other transient vessel can travel. And,
No, I like that.
And yeah, it actually, I think it's a smart way of addressing this, not just this circumstance, but the circumstance of having the random anchorage boat going wherever they feel like they want to go, and then having to enforce the fact that they may be too close to one entity or the other. So I think, just throwing that out there, I think it's actually a good way of controlling that.
Any more questions?
One thing I'm sure it's dealt with, Mr. Meekins, the fire marshal's comment, I guess that'll get done in the build phase.
Yeah, that will be addressed in the building permit phase. With this, there's proposed electric that's going to go to the pier itself, mainly lighting to get down the ADA accessible walkway. There's quite possibly going to be a water line extension based on fire comments. So that will be addressed.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Hey, Harold, you have anything else?
I don't know. I'm sort of new here, so I'm a little hesitant. I see that there's an awful lot of docks just south of the new mooring area that have to now squeeze through there versus perhaps leaving 76, 75, 72, and 73 where they are and just moving the number 74, which looks like the only one that's interfering.
So I think in the past, it's been, we've left these things open for additional comment. Is that we've been doing throughout this COVID time or Zoom time?
You have the option to do that, but the past few meetings, there hasn't been any public comment that's been submitted. Written comment has been allowed, but I think Gene usually closes the public hearing the same meeting, unless there's a reason to keep it open. Kevin, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that one.
Yeah, we haven't received any public comments on this, but you certainly have the option to leave it open, or you can continue and make a decision tonight. Either way, we can deal with it.
Oh. All right.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Okay, the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Robinson. All right, all in favor? raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so, all right, motion been approved. So, good to go.
Thank you, Port Wardens. I appreciate your time tonight.
All right, thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda here, what we have. We have Barbara Beck and Richard Compton, 614 Burnside Street. Who was this? Was it Dan Lang? Is representing this applicant.
It's not like him to not be here unless we have another representative.
Swear you in.
He's
Oh, there
here.
he is, right there. Nice to see him, man.
You just muted.
All right, Dan, you've been sworn in, bro.
Gotta unmute.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. The public notice signs were posted on the 14th and the mail was mailed out on the 14th. So I'm representing Barbara Beck and Richard Compton at 614 Burnside Street for a proposed installation of a finger pier 4 feet by 13 feet and install a boat lift and 4 boat lift support piles, all within the confines and setbacks of the harbor limit, the lateral line, and the 5-foot setback. So there's no encroachment within any of those setbacks. And that's pretty much the job.
Okay, any questions from the Port Warden? Robert, do you have anything?
No, I don't. I don't. It looks good.
Okay. Harold, do you have any?
No.
Scott?
I don't have any.
There was no public comments on this one.
Kevin, all right. Well, can I get a motion to approve? Motion.
Can I ask about, I have one question, actually. Modified lateral line, Kevin? Kevin? Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, I was stuck on mute.
Sorry, on the front page, there's a apparently a modified lateral line. That would be
Which page?
3, or page drawing number 3.
3. These are
Just notated a modified lateral line. I don't recall seeing that before.
that's where when you project the lateral lines out and they converge at a distance closer than 25 feet where they reach the harbor line, then they're adjusted to maintain the 20. So you see how there's a 25 feet.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Through there. So that's as per code.
And Dan, you're doing both these properties. They're neighbors, right?
Yes, sir.
And they're both in agreement with how this is going to go down.
As far as I know, yes, sir.
Okay.
And again, these lateral lines were accepted at 717 Chester. And so it's not anything that we've changed within the last year and a half, 2 years.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sure.
So we had a motion to approve by Harold, I guess.
Yep.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, raise your hand.
Uh,
Aye.
is my video even working?
Been approved.
Thank you.
No, your video is not working.
All right. Sorry. It's not intentional.
All right, last one on the agenda here is Mara Victoria Porter for 610 Burnside Street. Dan, you represent them too?
Yes, sir. Again, the notice signs were posted on the 14th and the mail was sent out on the 14th. representing Mara Victoria Porter, 212 Trust at 610 Burnside Street. We're going to remove the existing lift and put a larger, heavier lift to handle a heavier boat, and inset 4 piles for the new boat lift. There'll be 12'6" on center on the length and 12'6" out to out on the length and 12'6" on center on the width. The piles will be above the deck 7 feet, and the motors will mount, and the cable reel will mount at that elevation so you can walk under it. And we're doing this because we've had these king tides, and we've had one lift that was flooded out at one taney. So we're kind of positioning ourselves to account for this global warming thing, and that's the reason behind it, plus the fact that we need a heavier lift. And that's pretty much it. And again, we're within the allowable setbacks. We don't encroach on any of the setbacks or lateral lines or the harbor line.
And you're replacing the current piles with bigger piles, right?
Well, that's true, yes. So we're putting bigger and taller. So the piles are now a few feet above the deck. Will be 7 feet above the deck. But you know, that's where the boat would be lifted up to in the line of sight anyway, but the piles will be higher, so the motors are higher, and so that all the working electronics would be well above the what we call the mean high water.
Any questions from our port wardens?
There
Robert?
was no public comments on this one either.
I'll make a motion to approve.
And
Motion to approve, second by Harold. All right, Dan, you've been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate all your help.
The same here, buddy. You've always been a good friend there.
All right. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good evening.
Anything else from the port wardens? Okay, well,
No other business tonight.
all right, so I guess the meeting could be, meeting adjourned, and I guess I'll see everybody next month.
You have to move to adjourn.
I say, Carrie?
You have to make a motion, do a motion
Gonna
to
make a
adjourn,
motion.
and everyone has to vote on it.
motion,
There we
I
go.
second it.
Second.
Copy. Aye.
All right.
Aye.
all right.
Okay. Thank you, Carrie, again for your presence being here. And Tyler, nice seeing you.
Good seeing you guys. Thank you.
Alderman Arnett, good seeing you again.